People underestimate just how powerful Death is, so let's talk about him. Death is one of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse and the main protagonist of Darksiders II, and he is better known as the Pale Rider. Death is the oldest of the Horsemen and the one who's lived the longest with the consequences of what they have done. Long before the fall of the Nephilim, he already understood one simple truth: their kind could never last forever. The Nephilim were born from forbidden power and created for war. Whenever they wanted, destruction followed. And with every victory, they only pushed further beyond the line. Where the others saw glory and strength, Death saw where all of this was heading. He knew that sooner or later they would either stop themselves or the world would erase them. And when the Burning Council ordered the extermination of the Nephilim, Death did not argue, not because he was blindly obedient toward them, but because he believed that there was no other way. And after the destruction of his people, he changed. He became quieter, colder, more careful with every word and every move. Where war trusted the council, Death did not. He followed orders but always kept his distance and stayed clear-headed. And when war was accused and changed, Death knew something wasn't right. The truth was being buried, and the game being played was far from fair. He didn't act out of rage, he didn't do it for revenge, he began to move because the balance was broken and someone had to set things right. For Death, this wasn't an emotional reaction, it was a conscious choice. Now let's get into some powers, because Death focuses primarily on speed, precision, and full control over the fight. He stays calm and calculated, striking before his opponent can even react. Death shifts position so fast and so accurately that his enemies quickly lose their sense of direction and control over the situation. His entire fighting style is built around constant movement and pressure. Using Death's grip, he can pull his enemies towards him, hold them in place, or use the chains to interact with the environment, allowing him to cross gaps and deal with dangerous terrain. Death, also like his name, commands necromancy and can summon forth spirits of warriors fallen in battle to fight on his side. These entities will follow his will and reinforce his presence on the battlefield. He uses magic tied to their realm of the dead to weaken his enemies and drain their life force and bring their power under his control. Every ability he uses is purposeful. Death does not act randomly. He breaks opponents down step by step, staying in control with every move and every movement. But Death isn't just about magic and speed, because his weapons are just as deadly. His primary weapons are the Redemption Sais, a pair of twin sais that he can handle with flawless precision. He can wield them separately, spin them at high speeds, creating lethal whirlwinds of spectral blades. On top of that, Death has a wide range of secondary weapons, including heavy hammers, axes, maces, and swords, each with his own fighting style and their unique traits. He can use possessed weapons that grow stronger and evolve through his journey. He also carries the Death Grip, a chain that allows him to pull his enemies towards him, restrain them, or use his tools to interact with the environment to overcome obstacles. Death also wears the Mask of Shadows, which lets him see the world of the living and the world of the dead at the same time and remain somewhat visible to others. When his enemies try to escape in sheer terror, Death summons his loyal steed, Despair, a spectral horse which lets him hunt them down to their very end. And because of all of this, Death has done some insane things over the years. He's went through major threats like they were nothing, such as Garm, the Guardian, Champion, Wailing Host, Archon, and Lucian, and none of them were just background enemies. They were the real deal. He's outsmarted the Lord of Bones and gained access to the realm of the dead. He's defeated Samael, one of the most dangerous rulers of hell, and he's also taken down Absalom, leader of the Nephilim, corrupted by the Abyss, a being so powerful that angels and demons are scared of him. That isn't even the peak of his powers. When Death enters his Reaper form, he becomes way stronger, faster, and more deadly. Going face to face with Death is the worst decision you could possibly make. But anyway, that is the Reaper of Worlds, the edgy skeleton boy, and the Pale Rider, Death. Comment down below who or what you want me to talk about next, and feel free to give this video a like. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.